Hello there and welcome, and my name is Hugh Street, and a few years ago, well, a lot of years ago, I used to work for a company called Furs Theatre Lighting, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about this baby behind us, which, as most of you or some of you will know, is a Strand Patt 23 which has been refurbished to a colour machine. Let's show you a little bit of what this can do now. There are 16 colour variations, which I'll quickly go through here, which can flash like this, or you could have them cycling. This is a fast cycle, give you just some idea. Or you can keep it on a permanent colour. Let's have a look now at what colour will do in order to bring out certain patterns. We're on a slow cycle of the colours of the lamp, and if you look at the headscarf, you'll start to notice that certain colours will start really coming out, and this is how a colour light can be used to enhance things within the home that you want to feature. Beautiful, eh? Okay, how did this happen? So, how did this start? Well, it's about 1950 when this baby was introduced, which is the Strand Patt 23. It's made of die-cast aluminium, and it was well in vogue for almost 25 years, and very useful, what we call a profile spotlight, because it gives a round, hard-edged beam of light. In saying that, nowadays they're reliving their lives again, as you can see, by being polished and in a domestic environment. One or two things you should be aware about. First of all, the lens, as I say, is going to give you a hard, round beam of light, which originally was designed for 22 degrees. So it's going to be fairly narrow unless you actually change it. And you change it in this model by actually making sure that there's another lens fitted here. So that ring that's in here comes out, that one there, and another lens gets fitted in there so that it makes it a wide angle lens at about 33 degrees. The other thing is that this is the convex lens. As you can see, it's round profile. It does give a very hard edge, and it does actually show you the filament of the lamp that's inside, and that's why on the bottom here there was two screws to adjust the lamp so that you could get the best possible picture. Talking about the lamp, the original lamp was this baby, which is a 500 watt huge thing, T1. See, the filament is flat, and later on those were changed over for what is in this one. I'm just going to open up the back door, which gives you the lamp access, and there is a tungsten halogen version, 650 watt, and you can also see the type of reflectors inside the spotlight. That type of light actually gives huge amounts of heat, and that's the reason for the die-cast aluminium body. Remember, these were mounted high up in a theatre and had vents on, and they gave out huge amounts of heat. One of the problems with them being domestic use now is that they'll still give off huge amounts of heat, even if they've been fitted with a very little tungsten lamp of about 40 watts. And there's one problem with retrofitting with these types of light, is that they will still be extremely hot, and the case will get very hot. The light output will be about 1/10 of what it was designed for, and also you will get a very uneven spread, so you won't see very much at all. So basically there's all sorts of problems in retrofitting these with a domestic tungsten lamp. First of all, you won't get the light out. That will be a very useful beam unless you've internally fitted another lens, which most people will not do because they don't have them. You'll also find that it will get extremely hot, too hot to touch. The other thing to be careful of is that the cables, the original cables, were put into a little hole here. They will not get through the Patt test, the original ones. It is a metal casing, they do want earthing, and it does need to be properly connected and Patt tested to make sure it's electrically safe. Final thing is that they also did a version with a different type of lens. This is called a Fresnel lens, or a Fresnel lens, which actually, as you can see, there's all these little bands, which doesn't give the hard edge anymore, hard edge beam. And this is what has been used in this retrofitted model, so that you actually get a diffuse piece of light coming out, a diffuse light coming out of it. The beam has been changed because inside here is another lens, and that lens will make sure that you get the biggest angle you possibly can out of this. Inside it, instead of the T1 lamp, there is a modern LED coloured spotlight. That LED, as it is an LED, means that it doesn't get hot, and it only takes 5 watts of power. That's both sound in a green sense and sound in a heat and light sense. So all in all, good light. Good night.